Okay, here's another way that you can go about sharing your work out of Photoshop Elements. Here what I've done is I've opened up a bunch of images. You can see them all inside the project bin, and now what I want to do is I want to create a photo book that I could either have commercially printed or that I could print on my desktop printer here at home. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that the first image inside the project bin is the image that I want to have on the photo book's title page or cover page. So you might have to drag around some of your image thumbnails until you get the images set up in the order that you want. Here I have my barn windows as the first image inside the project bin, which is great. I'm going to make sure that I select all of my images inside the project bin just by clicking on the first guy there, which he was already selected. I'm holding down Shift and then I click on the last guy. They're all selected. And then over on the right hand side, underneath the Create tab, I'll just pop him open. Of course, we have Photo Book underneath the Projects tab. So go ahead and click on that guy. And then what you'll get over on the right hand side here is all of your options related to creating a photo book. So I have random photo layout, which is what I'm going to leave, or I can go with choose a photo layout. You can certainly work that way if you want as well. I also have the page size as well, so I can work with 8.5 by 11 if I want, 12 inches by 12 inches square, 300 millimeters by 300 millimeters square, or 10.25 by 9 inches. Well, once again, I'm going to leave the defaults here, just 8.5 by 11, but again, yourself, you can certainly change that if you want. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit here on the right hand side, and then I can go about choosing a theme. And they've really done a good job in terms of giving us lots and lots of themes to work with here. You can see there's all kinds of them in here, and you can certainly try them out. I'm going to go with this fella right here, Corkboard. So I'll just single click on him, and of course that gives me a much larger preview of the Corkboard theme. I'm pretty happy with that. Just below the theme window, I have some additional options. Autofill with project bin photos. That's great. I'm going to make sure that that guy's turned on. And then I also have include captions below that, and then the total number of pages. So for myself, it's just going to be 2 pages. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Create. Okay, great. Now I have my photo book completed. Now, just give me a moment here. I'm going to move back over to the left side of the Photoshop interface. And you know what I'm going to do is, I don't know why, but I seem to get this very strange interface where there's my original images and then there's my photo book. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to head up to this drop down up here, and then I'll choose the first icon, Consolidate All. And that drops all of the images into one single window. And then this right pointing arrow, click on him, and then look for Untitled 1. That's your photo book, this guy right here. Okay, great. Now, you'll also get this little navigation bar. We'll talk about him in just a second, but obviously there's your photo book there. And then over on the right-hand side, you have some additional options as well. We'll talk about those options in just a moment. But in terms of your actual photo book, what you can do now is you can resize your images using the bounding frame that appears all the way around your photos. You can also rotate them as well, just by bringing your cursor outside of the frame and clicking and dragging, or I can reposition my image. And once I'm happy with that change, I'll just go ahead and click on the green check mark to apply those changes. Okay, now down on this navigation bar that we have, what I can do here is I can navigate through my photo book. So there's my title page. There's that barn windows photo appearing on the title page. I'm going to move to the next page here just by clicking on this next button. And there's the first page of my photo book layout. I'll just pan over here a little bit so you can see the entire layout there. And of course, the next page there as well, the second page. So any of these images, I can click on them, I can resize them, I can rotate them around, I can reposition them, the whole 9 yards. It's entirely up to you how you want to set this up, right? So it's pretty cool stuff. Now, the other thing that I can do if I want is down on this navigation bar, I can go and add more pages in if I want, and then I could go and add in more images if I wanted to as well. But let me show you some of the options here over on the right-hand side. I'll just move my screen over just a little bit to the right, and I have this content area here. Now, what I can do is I can pop open my themes menu. Now, it's not letting me open it up because I forgot to go and apply my transformation here back on my page here, so I'll go and do that. And now I can pop open this menu, and I can go and mess around with all kinds of cool stuff. And I'll just kind of give you sort of a brief run through here. Let's try frames, for example. I'll choose frames. All of these frames get loaded into the content panel. So let's say, for example, this sort of animal fur leopard frame. I want to use that for my image. Well, I could grab him and drag and drop him over onto my photo. And of course, the leopard print frame, as lovely as it is, gets applied to my photograph. photograph, just like that. So you can certainly go through and apply some custom frames to your layout if you want. Or rather than frames, maybe you want to add in some graphics. I'll flip over to graphics here. And then, of course, the graphics load into the content panel. And there's all kinds of great graphics in here that you can mess around with. So maybe I'll grab my beach ball and I'll go and drag and drop him onto my layout, something like that. You can have lots of fun with this stuff. There's shapes, there's text, there's themes. Maybe I want to go and change my entire theme, for example. Well, what I could do is I can go and find a different theme, maybe this confetti theme, and I could go and drag and drop that into my photo layout. And I get this warning here saying, hey, you're about to change the entire theme for your entire photo book. Do you want to do that? I'll say okay, and then of course the entire photo book's theme changes to match the new confetti theme. Okay, great stuff. So obviously it's pretty easy to work with, and obviously you can have lots and lots of fun with this as well. Last but not least, when you're done your photo book and you're ready to print it, just click on the print button down on your navigation bar, and that will bring up Photoshop Elements print dialog box. And then, of course, inside the print dialog box over on the right-hand side, you can choose the printer that you want to use to output your photo book on, or perhaps you want to convert it to a PDF. You could certainly do that as well. Your paper size, your print size, and so on and so on. So there it is. There's how to create a photo book inside Photoshop Elements.